Hi there, and welcome to a special live edition of Live with the Paper Pixie. I'm coming to you on a different night this week, the eve of the end of celebration, and I wanted to come to you tonight to talk about joining the Stampin' Up family and purchasing the starter kit. If you love Stampin' Up products, the starter kit might be for you. So I'm going to talk to you about that tonight. Feel free to ask questions. My husband Brian is here watching all of your comments. No question is a stupid question. Ask away. I will answer any that I can. And I just look forward to talking to you about the starter kit opportunity. First, what I'm going to do is say hello if there's anybody watching right now. Hi, Becky. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Amelia. Welcome. Happy Saturday night. I hope you all are safe and happy and healthy and at home tonight. I'm excited about talking about the starter kit because it is one of the best decisions that I've ever made. So a little bit of background on me. I have been a demonstrator with Stampin' Up! Now for a total of 11 years. And I am married to my husband, Brian. We've been married for 13 years, and we have two, they're not so little anymore, but a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old. So my 8-year-old daughter, my 5-year-old son. And I do also work full-time outside of my Stampin' Up! Gig. So I just absolutely love playing with paper. I decided, I'm seeing lots of you. Hi, Mary, Ileana, Deanne. Hi, Fawn. Hi, Jeannie. Yes, Jeannie, you are one of my newest pixies. Hi, Teresa, Charlene, Amy, and Nancy. Hi, Robin. Welcome. So to tell you about how I got into Stampin' Up, it's kind of a funny story. I actually just recently celebrated my 20th anniversary with the company that I work for. And I had a career change about 11 years ago where I had a little bit of extra time on my hands. I stopped traveling and I was looking for a creative outlet. So I started to dabble a bit in card making, and I did some research about I got into heat embossing. So I started card making, then I sort of fell in love with heat embossing, absolutely loved watching videos, watching that powder melt and become magic. So in doing research, I learned that Stampin' Up! Had this tool called the Embossing Buddy. Here. I try to show it, but it's out of the package because the package got so bad. But we don't sell this product anymore, but it was just this little embossing buddy. It was the only thing I ordered from Stampin' Up! 11 years ago, actually this month. I don't know, back then it was probably about $4 or $4.50. I got connected with a local demonstrator. I lived in Chicago at the time, and she sent me a catalog. And as many say, the rest is history. I marked so many pages in that catalog and really tried to get resourceful about how I was going to afford my wish list. And I heard about the starter kit opportunity. So I was hooked. After about a week after I purchased that embossing buddy, I joined with Stampin' Up! For about the first, I think it was about 6 years. I just was a happy shopper enjoying the discount. And I fell in love with sharing paper crafting with people, and then I decided to turn it into a business. That's not what I set off to do when I purchased the starter kit. So I just want to talk to you about the starter kit is really a choose your own adventure. It is something for everyone, and we're going to talk about my top 10 reasons why I think it's the best decision ever. And it's especially wonderful right now through tomorrow because the value of the starter kit, we are in the midst, or I should say at the end of celebration. The value of the starter kit is a total of $182.50 in product, but you only pay $99 plus tax if applicable. It ships for free, which is an additional 10% discount because normally we would pay 10% in shipping. The starter kit ships for free. So hello, everybody. Oh, I see you guys connecting in the comments. Awesome. Welcome, welcome. All right, so let's start with the starter kit itself. I am going to do a quick screen walkthrough to show you what the ordering screens look like and what you can expect if you decide to purchase the starter kit. The starter kit is always $99. And you get to choose up to $125 in product. That's product in your choice. There's nothing that you're required to add to your starter kit. So let's say, for example, you've been eyeing the brand new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. That is $120, and then you could add an adhesive or something around $5 and get that for $99. That's just an example. So it's always $99, but now through tomorrow, they are adding an additional 200 sheets of 6x6 patterned paper, and that's what we call designer series paper. That's a $57.50 value in and of itself. It's exclusive paper that's not available for purchase right now. It's coming in the annual catalog that launches in May, but it's one of the perks of being a demonstrator that you get your hands on things first. So let's go through my top 10. I'm going to quick show you. I've got a link here. Where is it? So I'll show this again once I've gone through my top 10 reasons, but this link, thepaperpixie.com/top10, I have listed out on my blog my top 10 reasons why I think it's the best decision ever. And it really fits any type of demonstrator. Now, when I say demonstrator, that does not mean that you need to demonstrate anything. You can simply just purchase the starter kit and enjoy your Stampin' Up! Purchases at a discount. So, number one, it's the ultimate bundle. I refer to it as the best bundle, the ultimate bundle. It is, you get to choose what you want in product up to $125, but you only pay $99. On top of that is the 200 sheets of designer series paper. So you're getting $182.50 for $99, which is a really awesome deal. That only goes through tomorrow night at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time. I had to think about that for a second. That is officially the end of celebration and the end of that starter kit special. So Monday, if you wait till Monday, it'll be $99, but you only get the $125 in product instead of the $182.50. Now remember, $57.50 of that is the designer series paper packs, and I'll show those. I'll flip the camera here in a minute and show you what those look like. Okay. Number two is the discount. So once you purchase the starter kit, this is probably what attracts most people to the starter kit, is the discount. Right off the bat, when you purchase the starter kit, your following order after that, once you kind of get your demonstrator profile set up on the demonstrator site, you will have a 20% discount on your purchases. That can also be looked at a 20% commission if you choose to sell or demonstrate. But think about it as 20%, either discount or commission. You have opportunities to earn up to a 25% discount based on certain sales thresholds. And then on top of that, you can earn up to an additional 13% in volume rebates. And I'm not going to get too much into the details there, but there are opportunities if you want to turn it into something more. The next one is you can test drive all of the demonstrator benefits that I'm going to talk about tonight through July 31st of 2021. So when you join and purchase the starter kit, you get the current quarter we're in plus the next quarter to reach your first quarterly minimum. So we're in the middle of the January, February, March quarter. So this quarter plus the next quarter, April, May, and June. And then you get an additional pending month, it's called, to meet your quarterly minimum if you need. But again, test drive the benefits without doing another thing through July 31st of 2021. That is pretty amazing. We're going to have two catalogs launching in that period of time as well. So you might just find some things on your wish list to keep you active for another quarter after that. The annual catalog is launching in May. Demonstrators get to pre-order that starting in April 1st. And then we have the next mini catalog launching in July, including another celebration. So lots of great things coming up. Next is zero obligation. There is no obligation to place another order after you purchase the starter kit. It's a-okay with me if you purchase the starter kit and don't do another thing. It's a great deal in and of itself. There's no obligation to meet your quarterly minimums. There's no obligation to demonstrate or feel like you need to have a blog like I have or do live broadcasts like I do. There's no obligation to do any of that. And in conjunction with that, there's no selling required, sort of the same thing, right? There's no requirement to purchase, no requirement to sell once you purchase that starter kit. The other thing that attracted me to Stampin' Up! Right off the bat, and that I still am in love with today, is their color coordination and product coordination. I used to buy craft products from the big box stores, and I'd be walking up and down the aisles trying to figure out if this ink pad matched this pattern paper, and it was overwhelming for me. One of the things I love about Stampin' Up! Is the fact that their colors all coordinate, whether that be inks, markers, papers, ribbon, embellishments, all that good stuff. It all coordinates, so it really takes the guesswork out of being creative. It's also a one-stop shop, especially these days when I'm not really going shopping outside of my house. I know that I can place an order with Stampin' Up! And I'll have the adhesive and all the supplies that I need to be creative. So I love the one-stop shop. I know it's kind of the world of Amazon these days, right? We can order anything online. Stampin' Up! Is one of my favorite stores. The other cool thing that's a great demonstrator perk is that we get to see things first. So I'm going to flip the camera here. Let me do this really quick. Some of you may have seen this sneak peek. We have got this Butterfly Brilliance product suite, I should say, that is rolling out to customers on Tuesday. I believe it is March 2nd. But right now it's in the midst of a demonstrator pre-order time, so you can actually add these products to your starter kit today or tomorrow. Well, you can add it after tomorrow as well, but the pre-order products will show up as an option in adding to your starter kit. So we've got this paper, and of course I don't remember the name of it. This is exclusive only during the early release. This will not carry over into the new annual catalog. We've got the Brilliant Wings dies, and this is a great set of dies. I've got 2 magnet sheets of dies in this. It's 12 dies, beautiful butterflies, intricate butterflies. Then the Butterfly Bijou paper and the Butterfly Brilliant stamp set. So the dies and the stamp, you can get them together at a bundled price. You can get all 4 of these at a bundled price, but the papers are only available during the early release period, which is now through May 3rd, okay? So that's just an option of something you can add and that we were able to see as demonstrators first. While I've got the camera flipped, let me show you again. These are the 200 sheets of 6x6 designer series paper that you get. Apologies for the glare here with my lights. These are the 5 color families they're going to be carrying over into the annual catalog. The only color family that you don't see here is the outgoing 2019 to 2021 color family. So it's 5 packs of paper, 40 sheets each, 200 sheets of designer series paper. And this is just that awesome color patterned paper. So easy to use on projects. But we've got all of our, let's see, 10, 20, 30, 40, 45 different colors of paper here. What kind of pouch? Great question, Kristen. This is the Avery L extra large stamp and die pockets. I actually want to say they're 9 3/8 inch tall. I trimmed them down to 6 3/4. So they're the Avery L pockets. You can find those linked on my favorites page at thepaperpixie.com/favorites. So that's the paper that you get in the starter kit. All right, so that was, let's see, we did the ultimate bundle, the discount, the test drive, no obligation, no requirement to sell, color and product coordination, a one-stop shop, see it first, and then I'm combining these 2, but these are 9 and 10, the community and the friendship. So some of my dearest friends I have met through Stampin' Up, which has just been an incredible, unexpected bonus of purchasing the starter kit. I had no idea 11 years ago this month that I would have grown my circle of friends through stamping. So that has been an amazing added perk. The community, there's lots of great Facebook groups. I personally have a Facebook group for my team. I have a team of 80 plus team members and growing. We are all across the country. And I connect with my team in my Facebook group. We do monthly Zoom meetings and we have a lot of fun together. So I am here to serve, to make sure that you can make the most out of your starter kit and demonstrator experience, no matter what type of demonstrator you are, whether that be a happy shopper enjoying the discount, all the way up to a business builder and everywhere in between. So it is something for everyone, sort of a choose your own adventure. So those were my top 10. Again, When you get a chance, you can always find my top 10 at thepaperpixie.com/top10. There's also a link there to an FAQ document that Stampin' Up! Has put together. Some of the questions that I get most often are, I don't want to demonstrate or I don't want to sell. Can I purchase the starter kit? Absolutely. We talked about that. There's no obligation to do any of that. Let's see. There is a quarterly minimum. It is $300 per quarter. Again, when you sign up, you have until the end of your first full quarter. So whatever purchases you place between now and July 31st, technically June 30th, but you get that additional pending month. You have that long to reach your first $300. And that quarterly minimum is on the retail price. So you'll be paying your discount, but it's $300 quarterly minimum. Now, typically the discount covers both shipping and taxes and then a little bit more depending on what your taxes are in the state you live in. But it makes a big difference, especially if you are a Stampin' Up! Enthusiast, to get that discount. Great question, Ileana. Stampin' Up! Asks for your social security number in the chance that they need to pay you, for example. So they ask everybody for a social security number. That is just part of your relationship with Stampin' Up! It'd be just like if you were applying for a job, for example, they would need your social security number so that they can pay you. Now, if you're in it for the discount, they're not going to be paying you anything, but they don't know that at the time that you purchase the starter kit. And you never know, at some point you may change your mind and decide that you want to get a group of friends together. They may want to place orders with you, that type of thing. So if you're uncomfortable putting your social security number online, I can assure you that it is safe through the Stampin' Up! Website. But if you do feel uncomfortable, I do have access to a paper form that I can share with you that you can fill out. We can scan it and have you scan it or email it into Stampin' Up! If you'd rather do it that way. Great question. I've had people ask me, what is the drawback? And there are no drawbacks, but there is one thing that's just a little bit different, and it's how you place your orders. You place your orders as a demonstrator in a different place than you do as a customer. So if you're used to ordering as a customer at stampinup.com, the ordering is going to look a little bit different, but that's to ensure that you can get your discount off the top of that order. So if you join my team, you'll get a welcome email pretty instantly after you join from me as well. And I've linked in that email to a document that shows you exactly how to place a demonstrator order, as well as how to set up your demonstrator profile so that you're ready to go right out of the gate to be able to place orders and take advantage of your discount. Let's see. Looking at my other notes, I don't think I have any other specific things to call out as far as questions that I've had. Feel free to ask questions. I'm going to right now go ahead and share my screen and show you a couple of things on how to get to the starter kit ordering screens and then what those screens look like. And I just realized I forgot to get my keyboard, so 1 minute. All right, let me go ahead and share. Good, sharing the screen now? Okay, great. I can only see my screen. Okay, so I am gonna go up here. I'm at my blog homepage, and you can always find the join information here in my top menu. Here is that top 10, the top 10 reasons to join. And that is a picture, that's a selfie of me from the very first live stream I did, similar to this, where I was sharing the opportunity. So my younger self, right? These are the top 10 reasons. You can see the summary of all the information that I shared tonight here. There's also this link for frequently asked questions, and you can always contact me with questions. You can click on this button, or you can go to thepaperpixie.com/join at any time, and that will take you to the starter kit sign up. Is that sharing that right now? It's not. Hold on. We're going to type it in here. It opened in a new window, so I wasn't sharing that window. So thepaperpixie.com/join. And here is what the starter kit initial screens look like. This is where you will type in your legal first name and last name. Some people get tripped up on this a little bit because you want to make sure that that's the same name that is associated with your social security number. Sometimes that can hold up the process. Let's put in my Gmail. Now you all know my Gmail. And my number. Get started. Now, if you're already a customer, you might get this pop-up that says, "We think we found you." So just click Import My Data. If you've gone through my link, you'll see that I am listed as your demonstrator team leader. So then you'll click Next after confirming that. Just make sure that that's my smiley face right there, right? We'll click Next. Now here's where it asks for your social security number. I'm putting in a dummy one tonight. We're going to pick birth date. Let's just say I was born January 1st of 2003. I wish. And next. Now we'll ask for your mailing address. You can add a different shipping address if you need to. Click Next. Now you can do this also from a phone as well. This question trips people up sometimes, supporting demonstrator. So I have listed my husband as my supporting demonstrator, but that really only gives him the opportunity to attend Stampin' Up events with me. I think maybe he can also call Stampin' Up if he has questions, but let's be real, he's not going to go to any Stampin' Up events with me. So you can either choose to say either one of these, I will not, or my legal spouse will be a supporting demonstrator. Next. Now these are the demonstrator agreements. You can, the best thing if you want to read these before you check the box, you can, here's a little trick. If you hit the Command on a Mac or Control on a PC and Control click, those should open in a new tab for you and you can print those and save those and review them. Keep in mind that all demonstrators need to agree to the demonstrator policies and agreement, okay? That is if you decide to turn it into a business, and even if you don't do it as a business, there are certain rules that we need to follow as demonstrators. So make sure that you review those, check those boxes. And now the next screen is going to be the business tools. These automatically come with the starter kit. You're going to get a box of catalogs, you're going to get some ordering forms, and then you'll also see here in the fine print, this was hard to miss, but through February 28th, you get the free gift of the 6x6 Designer Series paper. Again, that's 200 sheets, 5 different stacks of paper. And then you just click Start Shopping. Now, many ask, well, I don't plan to do this as a business. What do I do with all these catalogs? You can share them with friends. You can recycle them if you want to. You could leave them at a doctor's office if that's allowed. There are a couple of different creative ideas to do that. Now is the fun part where you get to select your products. These are products of your choice. Try to get as close to or equal to 125 if you can. I always recommend that if you are, I don't know, a few dollars away, find something on the clearance rack. Try to get it to the 125 if you can. It does say that you must be within $5 of the 125 in order to continue to check out. Now, the easiest thing, and my recommendation would be that you write down a list on a little Post-it note or piece of paper that you've got next to your computer of the item numbers or item names that you want to add to your starter kit. The quickest way to add those items is to use this little magnifying glass in the upper right corner, and then you can type in, let's see, Butterfly Bijou, because I have that name in my head. And of course it says no results. But I bet if I scroll, it's going to show up. Let's see. All right, so here is the whole Butterfly Brilliance collection. That's the dies, the stamp, the paper, both papers, a total of $71.25. You could just get the paper, you could get the bundle, the stamp set. You can also find that, I believe, right here along the side here, Butterfly Bouquet. It's an out of catalog product. So you can add that here as well, or check the box and it should show up in the results. So let's see, I'm gonna add, I'm not gonna go through the whole process here, but let's do the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Add to starter kit. And then let's go with some dimensionals. Oh, I got real close. I'm trying to think what's $5. So I've added those 2 items. You'll see the traditional business supply pack. Included in that, which I forgot to mention, is a past paper pumpkin kit, which is an added value of $22. That is awesome. You don't know which kit you're going to get, so that's always a fun surprise. So I had only $1 left. If you happen to have a workshop where you chose to apply the Stampin' Rewards to your starter kit, that's where you'd put the Stampin' Rewards coupon code here. But most of my new team members, that does not apply to them. Then click Next. Excuse me. This is where you're just going to review that you've got it under the right demonstrator team leader that you want to join with, that your personal information is correct, your mailing address, all the other things that you acknowledged or agreed to, the shipping method, and then this is where you put in your payment information. Once you put in that payment information and click Continue, you'll then, I believe, click the Submit button. I'm obviously not going to do that because I didn't put in a real social security number and I'm already a demonstrator. So let me go ahead and, is it still sharing? All right, stop share, come back to me. All good? What questions do you have? As you can tell, I'm passionate about this. There's just so many benefits to purchasing the starter kit that many people are not aware of. Again, there's no obligation to work it as a business. Most demonstrators, I don't know the actual percentage, but I would say probably 90% or more are hobbyists. And they are Stampin' Up! Or paper crafting or stamping enthusiasts. They love Stampin' Up! Products, but they want to get it at a discount. So that is really the best opportunity for the starter kit. And the options are there if you want to turn it into something more. I'm here to support you any journey that you want to be on with the Stampin' Up! Family and purchasing the starter kit. No question's a silly question. I'm your team leader and I would love to help you make the most out of your demonstrator experience. So thank you all so much for joining me tonight. Again, if you have any questions between now and the end of the day tomorrow and you're trying to get a starter kit order in, feel free to call, text, or email me. I'd be happy to help you. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. Thanks for joining me tonight. And I will be live again Wednesday for my normal Live with the Paper Pixie, where I'll demonstrate a project from start to finish. Got some questions? You would not have to join Facebook, Susan. That is a great question. So I have, for my team, I also have team texts that I send out brief reminders throughout the week. Not a lot of them. I'm not a spammy pammy, right? So I'll let you know when there's new updates on the Stampin' Up! Website. I also send emails to my team as well. I do have many team members that are not on Facebook, so different ways for me to reach out to you. Zoom is a great way for my non-Facebook team members to join. We do those once per month. You don't have to turn your camera on, but it is fun when you join us and we get to know each other better. So let's see. Yeah, no requirements to do Facebook. I see Papa Pixie's here, my dad. He's here just about every live. Well, every live. I can't say just about. So, hey, Dad. Awesome. Let's see. You guys are great. Thank you. Good questions. You guys had great questions. So, thank you, everyone. I'll see you Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Take good care and happy last, 36 hours, 24 hours of celebration. Take care, everybody. Bye.